Welcome back YouTubers to my channel of Everyday Life of an Aspie. If you're new to my channel, I welcome you all. I'm Aspie. I'm all about creating mental health and awareness, sharing real life stories with Asperger's syndrome, OCD and the like, along with tips and tricks along the way on how to manage your everyday personal struggles, along with just, words of encouragement to give you some clearer understanding, discernment, to discern what's real, what's not, and then hopefully maybe regardless of those personal struggles, you'll find some messages out there from mine, a bit of hope and clarity and understanding to what you go through, because you're not alone. So that's been brought to my attention, obviously, basically, that I need to basically go on and do what I said about the nitty-gritty information in regards to what I want to share with you all. So obviously, like I said, it's real and it does exist, and that it needs to be done and dealt with regardless what it may be. So without further ado, guys, basically let's begin this sort of thing, and this one's going to be broken into two parts of the how-to. So basically this one is how to break the cycle of abuse. So hopefully you guys are enjoying this, and let's begin this. As you know, if you may be questioning or you're maybe stuck in a look back or be afraid to look back, but just move on as best as we can and know that a better relationship is out there for us if we're hoping to. This here one for this is aim to leave it at a time when your abuser will be out of the house, doing their own thing, whatever it may be, if they're at work or having a drink with friends or family members or whatever they do in their spare time. But bear in mind also, just to be on this front, that about 85% of the victims are usually women that comes out of a domestic violence relationship, and only 20-25% is men that comes out of a abusive domestic relationship, which is kind of a high percentile, but like I said, it's real. Obviously, for us who is the victim, we need to give ourselves plenty of time, basically, and obviously we need to bear in mind, basically, that we need to gather the bare essentials and bare minimum, if need be, of the supplies that is needed, such as some paperwork, such as your birth certificate, your passports, as well as your wallet, house, car keys, change of clothes, and contact information for family and friends, or for a shelter for the abused. It's not necessary to leave a note saying that you have left, but if you do, make sure you don't mention anything about where you'll be going. If you're in immediate danger, be sure to have police on standby so you can call them and explain to them that you are being abused and you need help. And hopefully they'll be able to support you through this. I know that sometimes, police officers tend to think that, the victims ask for what they deserve at times, especially how I felt when I was trying to seek out help with the authorities and trying to trust them. Number 2, avoid rationalizing or dismissing the abuse. There's a good chance that your abuser will attempt to lead you to believe that you deserve the abuse, that you did something wrong and you are being punished for it. Remember though that this is never acceptable for any human being to be abused by another human being. Also, abuse doesn't have to mean consistent physical violence, as I said before. It can also include that you have never been physically hit. It can be primarily emotional or verbal. The abuse doesn't seem as bad as other instances of abuse that you've heard about. You've been hit once or a couple of times. If your abuser has struck on you once, there's a good chance he'll do it again. The abuse should stop after you give in to the abuser's demands. Number 3, be aware of the honeymoon phase of abuse. As I said before, is that illustration of basically the cycle of abuse. This is where this comes in. In some cases, abuse is followed by a honeymoon phase, whereas it's a period in which the abuser treats his victim really nicely. This may last for a few minutes or a few weeks at a time, but don't fall into this trap. It's just a ploy to drag you and suck you back in. You will very likely be abused again by the abuser in the near future if you do stick around by choice. In particular, in this honeymoon phase, your abuser may of the following: be apologetic, be extra attentive towards you, will help you out more around the house, make promises to change his abusive behaviour, will start buying you gifts or giving you gifts than he didn't before, start complimenting you more, spend more time with you. Number 4, Avoid falling for niceness after the abuse. Yes, this is a hard one, even if some of us are so, forgiving and falling short from their demands and whatnot. One common reason individuals may stay in the abusive relationship is because they have hope for that abuser will change. This hope will be then fueled in part of the abuser's honeymooning behaviours, however, but we shouldn't allow this behaviour or let this behaviour in the honeymoon phase fool us. Although it can feel good to get gifts, compliments and extra attention, don't get me wrong, remember why is he doing this in the first place. He is trying to control and manipulate you to keep you in the relationship and not out of it. Number 5, find your power. One reason individuals stay in abusive relationships is because they feel powerless and unable to act. This feeling may be compounded by certain circumstances such as poverty or fear of being alone or whatever it may be. You may not have the means to relocate, but you may be holding on to hope that your abuser will change. However, you may not trust the authority figures after what they have filled you with fear and self-doubt and everything else of the lies that you're the problem, not them. Then your self-esteem may become low, you'll believe the abuser, or you may face another daunting blockage, basically, of leaving your abuser. It will not be easy, it will be uncomfortable and difficult, believe you me, but by finding ways to empower yourself and increase your self-confidence, you can begin to take steps to get the help you need. Ways to increase your self-esteem may include spending time with friends and family who support you, exercise, make a detailed escape plan so you know you can get away if necessary, seek counselling or talking to a doctor or special social worker that you can trust, participating in activities you enjoy and that you're at peace at and make you feel good about yourself, connecting to your community through religious services or volunteer work. Getting out of this mindset is difficult and will take a long time, believe you me, but it is well worth it. Number 6, get yourself help. Start by searching for local resources that are designed to help victims of abuse. You can receive job training, illegal counselling, financial services and services for your children if you have any that is in a dangerous way. With their assistance, you may be able to have the resources to escape your abuser. You can start trying one of the following resources and asking them for more resources should you need them. Set your internet browser to private or use a computer at work or at the library and avoid using your cell phone so your abuser can't track your web or call history. Number 7, set aside some money in a secret bank account. Getting a secret PO box will set up your bank account to only send bills associated by a secret email address your abuser doesn't have access to can be a good start. This will allow you to receive the information from your bank without your abuser knowing about it. Place money into your secret bank account so that you can access it should you need to escape from the abuser so you have some spare cash around. If you don't have time to do this, you could consider charging things to your shared credit card if you have one, or as a family or friend for a loan. Number 8, arrange shelter. Having a place to stay arranged in advance is important. At the least, you should have some means to stay in a hotel for a couple of nights while you make other permanent housing plans. If you can't afford to stay in a motel for a few nights, look into other social organisations such as Shelters for the Abused or a church, or even maybe, again, one of your family members could take you out for the night, or friends, basically. And then maybe the next step is also, like, there is, I think now, help for women through an organisation here in New Zealand, through the national government, for basically, that they help people through this. Number 9, consider ditching your old cell phone. This is important for 2 reasons. 1, if you want to cut ties for good with the abuser, so you don't want your abuser to be able to contact you. Your abuser may lure you in and you will end up right back into that cycle of abuse again. And also, in this mean of contacts, if you know any of your friends that is in contact with your abuser, also cut ties with them so that they don't obviously fuel information basically on what's going on. Another one is number 2, cellular phones can sometimes be tracked down with various apps to facilitate finding lost phones. Your abuser might be able to track you this way, so be aware of this possibility. You might want to get a burner prepaid cell phone so that you can make emergency calls on the fly without worrying about your abuser tracking your whereabouts or calls. Number 10, change locks and change passwords. Don't let your abuser into your life in any way. If you're remaining in your home, change the locks immediately after your abuser leaves. Also change your email addresses, cell phone, password, bank account, PIN number, and anything else your abuser might use to find or take advantage of you. Although it might be a house that this is extremely important. All it takes is the one crack in your defences for your abuser to re-enter your life and continue that cycle of abuse. Number 11. Don't allow your abuser to contact you in any way. This may include blocking your abuser's cell phone number, screening on numbers by having a caller leave a voicemail, blocking your abuser's email address in your contacts, and blocking the person from your social media accounts, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and the like. As I said before, if you're having trouble figuring out how to block someone, type in Google how to block someone plus the name of the application or software you're struggling to figure out. There will likely be very likely be information on how to block someone for any program that has that option, and this includes also some of your cell phone providers may have an app that does it for you, or even hopefully the cell phone providers, internet providers, or whoever may be able to help you in this case as well. If you have the option to set your online profiles or information to private, do so. Even if you block your abuser's account, he or she could potentially set it up with a new account or use someone else's account to access your profile. Number 12. Obtain a personal protection order. This is a court-backed document that grants you legal protection from your abuser. You will need to provide evidence of abuse to the courts, even if it will take a few months to actually get this sorted of a protection order. Your local courthouse will likely have more specific instructions for the specific kinds of information you may need to provide, however. Approved PPOs must be legally served to your abuser so that it is clear that the abuser has received notification. You will then need to show this legal proof to the courts. Your local courthouse will have more specific details for how they want the procedure done and documented. Number 13, last but not least, keep a copy of this PPO on you in case you need to show it to the police during a run-in with your abuser. Consider a restraining order also. If nothing is working to break that cycle of abuse, consider going to the courts and filing for a restraining order. Knowing the limits of a restraining order, this may or may not be an effective option depending on your abuser's level of violence and ability to act irrationally. If he is prone to violent outbursts, devoid of any thought about the consequences of his actions, a restraining order may do little to protect you, however. In many cases such as this, you will be better equipped to defend yourself by avoiding this individual altogether or carrying pepper spray for any emergency situations if the need arises, or some other form of self-defense weapon sort of thing. Well, this quickly ends How to Break the Cycle of Abuse Part 1. Give me a like for a thumbs up for support, comment below, follow me on my social media sites listed below, feel free to subscribe to my channel, feel free to turn the notification bell on so you know that new content is out and about. Feel free to share these videos around to family and friends. And all for the do, guys, thanks for your support, do what you love what you do, and I'll see you again soon. Ciao for now. By avoiding this individual altogether or carrying pepper spray for any emergency situations if the need arises.